Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management of brand business. A 30-minute show that features brand news, brand in focus, industry interviews and conversations, all in the mix to promote the brand idea home and abroad. Welcome. Now, efforts being made by the members of Media Independence Association of Nigeria in generating and implementing an electronic audience measurement system tagged MediaCell appears to be at crossroads. This is not unconnected with the disagreement between the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria and Advertisers Association of Nigeria over who pays what in financing the project. The two critical key stakeholders are loggerheads over the funding of the project, estimated to cost about 5 billion naira. This revelation was revealed in an exclusive chat with Business Unit Director, Media Reach OMD, Promise Oduo. In the spirit of giving back, our season Zenith, one of the leading media advertisers agency in Nigeria, recently held the maiden edition of its ASZ Academy Career Day. The event, which was held at the premises of All Season Zenith, was organized to prepare future leaders in advertising. Group Managing Director of Insight Redefining, Ken Oyapeli-Ikpe, says the importance of equipping youths of today with necessary knowledge missing from the academic curriculum is very paramount in Nigeria. The 15 participants in this maiden edition were selected from a write-up challenge where proposals were submitted on how cyberbullying, internet fraud and drug abuse could be tackled amongst youths in Nigeria. The one-day event was richly packed to inspire the future leaders of the advertising industry. The Board of Directors and Management of Keskese Limited, one of Nigeria's leading experiential and event management agencies, has announced the elevation of Kayode Idowu to the position of Executive Director of the company. Prior to his new role, Mr. Idowu was the General Manager of the company, where he was responsible for providing leadership and direction to agency's team in the discharge of service to clients and management of major accounts in the company's portfolio. According to a statement signed by the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the company, TOBY Akintunde-Johnson, the appointment became effective July 1st, 2019. Akintunde described Mr. Idowu as a dedicated and committed staff who has been instrumental to the strategic turnaround and growth of the company over the past few years. Mr. Idowu has long years of working experience in marketing communications industry, having worked with top agencies in Nigeria, including Tequila, FKG2, Town Criers Limited, where he was the account director between 2008 and 2011. Fresh off his BET Best International Act wins, Burna Boy alongside a multi-award winning artist, Teni the Entertainer, are both being unveiled as the newest Pepsi brand ambassadors during their performance at the Big Brother Naija opening show recently. Appearing on stage, both artists were decked out in Pepsi branded outfits during their energetic performances shortly before the announcement was made. Pepsi's lineup of ambassadors now includes Tiwa Savage, Wizkid, Davido, Techno, DJ Cupid, Exclusive, Obi, Spinal, Burna Boy and Teni. These two new inclusions to the Pepsi team further validates Pepsi's #1 status as the music powerhouse brand in the country. Publicis Media has appointed TOBY Barbour as CEO of its Australian and New Zealand operations following the departure of Matt James earlier this year. Currently, the CEO of Starcom's Australia, Barbour, will start in his new role effective immediately, while staying on as an interim CEO of Starcom until a replacement is named. The role has been vacant since the beginning of the year after it was revealed that James would be taking on the role of Global Brand President for Publicis' own agency, Zenith. He relocated to UK as part of the role. This is the third major holding group position to be filled this year, following the news that Henry Tadger would be taking the CEO position of rival Dental Urges Network, and Jens Momsey would be taking over as CEO of WPP AUNZ. A world-class mix of industry best and brightest will be speaking at the 2019 New York Advertising Week. The event is scheduled for September 23 to 26. According to the statement on its website, Advertising Week will be featuring top industry leaders, stars of the entertainment world, and inspiring entrepreneurs. Some of the notable speakers are Nick Brain, CEO of Dental Regis Network Americas and US, Jill Kress, Executive Vice President, Consumer Marketing for MasterCard, amongst others. The statement pointed out that participants would mix and mingle with peers and mentors in the industry and the organizers various networking events at Our New York. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority is investigating how Google and Facebook influence the digital advertising market. The key concerns relate to market power, the lack of consumer control over the use of their data, and the ways in which this is monetized. In March this year, Google was fined 1.49 billion euros in Europe for restricting its rivals from placing their search ads on third-party websites. The EU also last year fined Google 4.3 billion euros for blocking competitors across its mobile Android platform. Seasonings were used well before writing was invented, and they were used by people all over the world. The use of seasoning to spice up foods was a great game changer in the history of humankind's culinary culture and invention. Naturally, omnivores tend to try things that look and smell edible. In Africa, prior to the introduction of modern food seasonings, such as Maggi and Knorr in cube, powder, and liquid forms, there had been several local seasonings such as Iru, Ogiri, and Dadawa, all of which locals still relish till now. With aggressive modern branding and marketing, however, all the local seasonings have remained mere commodities. Brand plays a critical role in establishing a company's visibility and position in international markets. Building coherent international brand architecture is a key component of a company's overall international market strategy, because it provides a structure to leverage strong brands into other markets, assimilated and acquired brands, and integrate strategy across markets. In Nigeria's contemporary seasonings market, two brands have been slugging it out for decades: Maggi and Knorr. Outstanding leaders in their respective categories, none is a pushover when it comes to brand heritage, reputation, and equities. Their consumer loyalty and quality market offerings are also non-parallel. Maggi is a heritage brand which has acquired a generic status in Nigeria. Founded in 1872, a Swiss entrepreneur called Julius Maggi came with a solution of a protein-based vegetable dish which was quick, easy, and inexpensive to prepare. Maggi has been in Africa since the 1950s, with a logo identification of Maggi Star characterized by red and yellow colors. Next is the interview segment on the show. Bada Akintunde-Johnson of Vacom International Media Networks. He is our guest. Enjoy it. Well, I have with me on the interview segment of Marketing Edge on TV, I have Bada Akintunde-Johnson. He is the country manager of Vacom International Media Networks Africa, home of entertainment brands such as MTV, MTV Base, Nickelodeon, BT, and Comedy Central in our market. Before his current role, he worked in advertising as creative director for Glow and for SOU, running some of the most talked about campaigns in the last decade in Nigeria for Globacom. Over the years, he's written successful advertising campaigns for big brands like Access Bank, Indomie, Lagos Marathon, ExxonMobil, Adidas, Guinness, Malta Guinness, Stanbic IBTC, Harp, FCMB, Sky Bank, now Polaris Bank, and many other top brands. I can go on and on, but that's the person I have with me today. Let me welcome Mr. Bada Akintunde-Johnson. Thank you again for joining us. My first question will be, how does content marketing help to achieve your brand's building efforts?
Oh, well, it's almost a lifeblood. It's pointless to create content that doesn't reach your target audiences. So content marketing is critical to getting the content that we create, the world-class, top-quality content that we create for different audiences across our consumer-facing brands like Nickelodeon, MTV Base, MTV, BET, Comedy Central. It's critical that we, drive them towards where our audiences live on multiple media platforms, social media, on digital, on mobile sometimes, on traditional, what you want to call linear TV. Also, these days, on the ground, content marketing helps us to take the content that we've created or curated for these audiences and deliver it to those touch points where they are. So it's very critical for us that we use, from a strategic standpoint, content marketing to achieve our objectives of taking our content to our audiences.
Now, in terms of viewership and reach, how many people do you reach through your various platforms?
So across Africa and across our multiple, media brands, like I've mentioned, we cater to well over 100 million people across the African continent, and it's a growing number. Across satellite TV, terrestrial TV, to digital, like I said, across those multiple touch points, and we keep growing the numbers. We keep, populating the family. We like to say that we are the brand that caters to people from cradle to the grave. So from age 0 to 14, we have 3 Nickelodeon channels, Nickelodeon itself, Nick Jr., and Nicktoons, that caters to that demography. And then from age 15 up to 25, primary audience, secondary from 26 to maybe 35, depending on the psychographic distribution of the audience or orientation of the audience. You would have MTV Base take care of the entertainment needs, if you may, of that demography. And the older demography, you have BET, you have Comedy Central. So we whatever it is that catches your fancy, or that is your thing, from whatever age category you belong to, there's a Vacom brand that caters to you. So from a quantitative standpoint, I'd say there are over 100 million family members, Vacom family members, spread across the continent.
Well, your company has been credited for helping transform the Nigerian music industry. What's your next growth plan for Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation?
For Nigeria, a uniquely young population. The statistics will show that between 65 to 70% of our population is under 30. Nigeria is a critical market for us. If you look at what's been happening in the entertainment space, Nigeria sits on the forefront of pushing African entertainment. Nigerian music, for instance, has almost become synonymous with African music. When people talk African music, African sound, they may be using that as a synonym for Nigerian music, or as a symbolic of the music that Nigeria has formed, or Nigerian artists have formed and forged over the years. And what we do as a business is to create expression platforms, or platforms for expression, for this teeming population of young people across different parts of Africa, from Nigeria, South Africa to Kenya, to wherever else. Through our brands, our platforms, the MTV African Music Awards, for instance, has over the years created opportunities for African artists to collaborate with big name superstars, the Wyclefs of this world, the Futures of this world, to bring them on that platform where we celebrate excellence. But we uniquely create an opportunity for African artists to collaborate with them. We started it out, and then it became big, because once African artists got exposed at that level, the rest of the world started to take notice of the undoubted talent that's always been here, and collaboration became a big thing. And now you find almost everyone collaborating with artists from outside of Africa, and big name artists too. Through MTV Sugar, for instance. We've exposed Lupita Nyong'o to the rest of the world. She came through MTV Sugar. We're in production shooting another season of MTV Sugar. It's probably the most successful TV drama that pushes pro-social objectives in the market. You look at other platforms like MTV VJ Search, through which we've discovered some of the most